In order to paint this 17,000 square foot canvas, it took over 12,000 gallons of water, over 300 gallons of paint, 8 icemen, and 7 new graphics and logos, all to transform Amsoil in under 30 hours.
Well, Coach, you know this is a dangerous team that can strike at any moment. What has to tighten up and remain more disciplined to keep them from doing so? Well, there's a player on this Bulldogs team that's been in a bit of a scoring spree as of late. 4 goals in his last 6 games. His name, Anthony Mangini. His team calls him Gino. And they're outworking that team, and that was the struggle for LIU yesterday. But of course, that's not always going to translate on the scoreboard, so UMD's got to remain encouraged in the way that they're keeping their values, their energy, their commitment to the puck really high.
You may know him as Coy the Boy Parrish, but everyone knows him as the #1 ranked high school football player in the state of Minnesota. And today, Esco's Parrish told the world that he's officially staying home. On the day that Kirk Cousins made his return to Minnesota, Sam Darnold had the best game of his career. 347 yards for 5 touchdowns. It's safe to say the scriptwriters were in their bag. But it wasn't all about QB1 versus QB1 in the Vikings' 42-21 win over the Atlanta Falcons.
Him and Brady have both coached together for a very long time, over 2 decades in this league. They both know what to expect from one another, despite the difference in lineups they have from year to year and really game to game. But it's always a battle between these 2 teams. And we mentioned earlier before we got on air, both these teams coming in with losses, something they're not used to when they come against each other. Besides the way that you were able to be so decisive offensively, and you look at these numbers, offense is spread out so much, and that's something that we talked about ahead of this one. What else do you see when it comes to improvements of this group? I mean, of course, the block party was outstanding. 8 blocks to Bemidji's 1. But what else do you say, hey, yeah, we've really grown in this area after this win tonight?
Look, we are at the 300-meter mark here at the Prince Hawken race. And you know what they say? There's a first for everything. So I'm actually joined with somebody who took on this race for the first time. Gail Novacek, can you tell me what your experience was like in this first race?
I know that once you guys won the Final Four game down in Missouri, Bryn, you went up to your mom and you said, we beat ya. We beat you, Mom. And I know it looked different back in her day. What was your mom's response in that, and what is the advice that she's given?
I think as a team, we should all head to the curling club and take one another on.
Why are you always volunteering me to do sports and events?
Because it's entertaining. That's what the fans want, actually. Okay. I'll say, the very first time I curled up in Two Harbors, I did a belly flop. It was very exposing. We'll have to find it.
We'll have to track down some pictures, a video of that. Prove is curling is not as easy as it looks.
That would be the most true thing, probably very understated as well. Yeah. Daniel and I received a curling crash course right here in our backyard at the Duluth Curling Club from the most decorated curler in U.S. history, Olympic gold medalist Mr. John Schuster. And let's just say, these rookie curlers may need to stick to their day jobs.
I talked to 2 of your Hermantown homies yesterday, and Joey Pierce and Aaron Pionk, and I asked them who would strike first today. They bet on you. Who are you betting on here in this 3rd period? I know your brother has had a couple of grade A looks as well.
When you spoke for the first time as NCHC commissioner at NCHC Media Day, I remember coming up to you and saying, Heather, thank you so much for being a face as a strong woman in athletics, because as you and I both know, the tables are turned a little bit, you know, when it comes to working men and working women in the world of sports. And being able to see you lead a room was so special to me. And growing up with a mom who worked full-time and could also run around and chase my sister and I and do it all, what do you hope that influence is for other women who are in the business or hope to get in the business?
In the same way that Mr. Sandlin's dogs have come alive in their 2nd season, I have 2, because you want to know why?
Why?
In 3 consecutive weeks, your Goal of the Night segment has now become mine.
Yeah, it's no longer my favorite segment of the show, but it's the last finale. I'll let you take it away.
Let's take it away. Well, first of all, in case you have not heard his name, let me introduce you to Cole Swanson, younger brother of Kate Swanson, an Iron Range duo. But Cole, just a freshman, skating circles around just about everyone and scoring goals like this, a sneaky 5-hole goal. Oh, and Daniel, as you mentioned to me earlier, 34 points in 19 games just behind his older brother. I don't know what's cooking in the Swanson household, but I want an invite. For a fact that you have this very moment circled on your weekly planner. In fact, I think it might be written on our big sports calendar.
Yeah, and this point in permanent Sharpie, so I never forget. I even had my alarm set this morning. I was ready to pop off, so...
Your dedication.
I'm just ready to go. Let's see it.
Well, you want to know what it means to pop off?
I'd love
right here down aisle 6. Not just a QB, but maybe RB1-2 to Harbor's Jacob Carpenter laying down the red carpet for himself. In case you can't keep up with Carpenter, that's 64 yards to the house. Get that boy some water. And all I've got to say is pop off, Jacob Carpenter.
11-2, Minnesota Vikings did their part in a big way this afternoon, winning their 6th straight. And all they had to do was score the most amount of points in 5 seasons. Now, if they just keep the pace, they're only 1 game behind the division-leading Detroit Lions. As for next week, they face a different foe, the Chicago Bears, right back here at US Bank Stadium for some Monday Night Football. But until next week, here at US Bank Stadium, I'm Alexis Bass for Northern News Now Sports.
When we unrolled the Frozen 4 logo yesterday, I was like a little kid in a candy shop just going, oh my gosh, it's happening, it's real.
The weekend of March 17th. That date has been circled on the calendar for quite some time.
It's been a blur for the last 4 months. They called and said that we got the bid and just kind of moved on from there and started working.
Amsoil Arena, the chosen site to host the 2023 Women's Division I College Hockey Frozen 4.
It's a great event for Duluth to host. We get to showcase our beautiful arena here.
An event promised to bring the city of Duluth and the sport together. But before puck drops, behind the scenes, a lot of work has to be done to get the arena up to standard.
Knowing how much work goes into it, it's not something you dread, but you go, oh, we got a lot of stuff to do this week.
Amsoil's head iceman, Jake Magis, proved that setting the scene for a national tournament comes down to both an art and a science.
Starting last Thursday, when the men's and women's teams both left for their games this past weekend, we started working on the ice. So that we took it from roughly 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches of ice, shaved it down to 1/4 inch, and then painted over it on Saturday, and then re-logoed and rebranded all the neutral zone logos that you see here now.
In order to paint this 17,000 square foot canvas, it took over 12,000 gallons of water, over 300 gallons of paint, 8 icemen, and 7 new graphics and logos, all to transform Amsoil in under 30 hours. But the ice wasn't the only part of this venue that would require meticulous planning and part of this massive transformation. Troy Olson from Soda Signs was tasked with his biggest operation and marketing mission yet. Creating a championship stage by following detailed instruction and protocol from the NCAA to ensure neutral advertising at Amsoil.
A little nerve-wracking and a little bit overwhelming, but taking a look in depth to each sign, I knew we could do it.
Olson partnered with Duluth Signs, Stat Design in Grand Rapids, and Section 127. The firm that specializes in designing advertisements in big events, including NCAA national championships like this one.
It's very complex, Excel. We have everything documented down, how long each install should take, which ones we're starting with, which ones are hyper priority, and which ones are team specific.
Does it feel a little like Santa's workshop to you?
Yes, very much so. We're gonna have a lot of helpers coming around.
From hotels to locker rooms to around the arena itself, there are about 160 different signs, graphics, and decals displayed. Game nets, bench pads, shovels, water bottle carriers, Zambonis, and advertisements filtered throughout Amsoil, but even that doesn't break the ice. Right here along the inner perimeter of the bowl, 494 feet to be exact, each individual panel of vinyl has been installed, only adding to the extensive hours right here at Amsoil.
It's amazing how much vinyl can change an arena or a room just by putting it up. It just brightens everything up and makes it look a lot better.
Really making it a top-notch, world-class event for people to attend, you know, not only for the players, but for any fans as well. You know, they really try and spruce things up and make it look beyond presentable. I'd almost say like an NHL facility.
The spotlight is on, the stage is set, and a new national champion is ready to light the lamp and hoist the trophy in Duluth, Minnesota.